So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter Sherwin, and I'm a vice president here at the City Bar. And I'm really excited to welcome you to the 32nd Annual Legal Services Awards here at the City Bar. This series of awards was established in 1989 to recognize lawyers and non-lawyers who have devoted themselves to the provision of free civil legal services on a full-time basis to indigent persons for an extended period of time. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. These awards are hosted here at the City Bar by the Committee on Pro Bono and Legal Services, and that committee is chaired by Nicole Fiddler and Jessica Klein. And I also want to acknowledge the committee's subcommittee on the Legal Services Awards, and that's chaired by Jamie Porco and Marnie Burke. And the members of the subcommittee include Lisa Laplace, Marlene Halpern, Dara Scheinfeld, Artemis Aninos, and Jessica Klein. And their hard work really made this possible as it has in the past. Now, we're very fortunate to have so many wonderful nominations, and the subcommittee had a very difficult task in selecting the recipients from among such a well-deserving pool. To help them and for this awards program, I also want to express our thanks to Taylor Olheiser from the City Bar staff, who's responsible for coordinating the event. And the awards are supported by the Horace W. Goldsmith Foundation, and I hope that not only will you be here to congratulate the awardees, but then also stay afterwards and help them celebrate with the reception to follow. Now, I'd like to turn over the podium to Justice Robert Reed, but because he'll be presenting the awards. But first, I have a few words to say about Justice Reed. Justice Reed was born in Compton, California, and he graduated from Stanford University in 1981, and then came east and received his JD from Harvard Law School in 1984. He was first elected in 2007 to the New York City Civil Court, and he served as an acting family court judge in the Bronx Family Court and in Bronx County Civil Court. In 2012, Justice Reed began sitting in New York County Civil Court, and in 2014 began serving as an acting justice of the Supreme Court, presiding over a general IAP in New York County Supreme Court Civil Branch. 2016, he was elected as Supreme Court Justice, and since 2020, he has been assigned to New York County's Commercial Division. Now, prior to taking the bench, Justice Reed practiced law for 23 years, both in private practice and the public sector. But what I'd really like to focus on are his many community service activities. Justice Reed is an executive committee member of the NAACP Mid-Manhattan branch, a longtime member of the Metropolitan Black Bar Association, a longtime member of 100 Black Men, Inc., a trustee of Park Avenue United Methodist Church, and membership secretary of the Supreme Court Justices Association of the City of New York, Inc. He's also a former board member of the Children for Children Foundation and of the New York League of Conservation Voters. Justice Reed is an active member in many bar associations, including, much to our pleasure, our own New York City Bar, where he serves on our special committee to encourage judicial service. An active community servant, Justice Reed was presented the Mentor of the Year Award at the 28th Annual Benefit Gala of 100 Black Men, Inc., the Man of the Year Award at the 20th Annual Ruth Whitehead Whaley Scholarship Luncheon of the Association of Black Women Attorneys, the Roy Wilkins Judicial Excellence Award of the 17th Annual Freedom Fund Luncheon of the NAACP Mid-Manhattan Branch, and he was named Jurist of the Year at the Metropolitan Black Bar Association's 35th Anniversary Awards Gala. Now, Justice Reed also routinely serves as a panelist for the Metropolitan Black Bar Association's annual Theodore T. Jones Jr. Trial Advocacy Program, and he was honored to have been asked to serve as a judge of the final round of the 68th Annual National Moot Court Competition. Justice Reed often serves as a panelist, speaker, moot court judge, moderator at community or bar association programs, and here at the association, he has done so with our City Bar's Thurgood Marshall Professional Development Series. Justice Reed also served as Master of Ceremonies at the New York City Bar's Diversity and Inclusion Celebration Dinner in June of 2019. Justice Reed, it is an honor and a pleasure to turn over the podium to you.
Well, thank you for that, and I wish I could say be seated, but there's no place for you to go. Well, it's an honor for me to be here to participate in such a worthy ceremony. But let's get right to it. It's my pleasure to present the 32nd Annual Legal Services Awards given by the Association of the Bar of the City of New York. That's the old school name. This year's 5 recipients are formidable individuals who have dedicated their lives and careers to helping and changing the lives of so very, very many New Yorkers in their times of need. Each of these recipients has displayed an abiding commitment to providing free legal services to New Yorkers in need through work ranging from housing to consumer law to immigration to community organizing. Our first presentation goes to Esperanza Colon. Esperanza Colon is a supervising attorney at the Legal Aid Society, at which she is a key member of the management team at the Brooklyn Neighborhood Office. Throughout her 30 years at the Legal Aid Society, she has shown great versatility as an attorney, assisting people in a variety of cases, from obtaining government benefits and preserving housing to matters related to child custody, immigration, foster care, Medicaid, and consumer law. Esperanza joined the Legal Aid Society in 1992 as a staff attorney in the housing practice at the Bronx Neighborhood Office, working, give it up for the Bronx, working to prevent the eviction of tenants living in the borough that contains the poorest congressional district in the nation. She later became a full-time government benefits staff attorney in the Bronx Benefits Unit. After moving to the Brooklyn Neighborhood Office, she became the co-director of Project FAIR, Fair Hearing, Assistance, Information, and Referral, an innovative, on-the-ground legal services experiment. Most recently, she has convened and managed a citywide cross-unit working group leading the Legal Aid Society on the Emergency Rental Assistance Program implementation, which includes ongoing advocacy with OTDA and community education through on-site and remote trainings. On top of her work on these special programs and projects, she carries out her regular responsibilities managing a team of 11 paralegal case handlers on the Brooklyn housing team, conducts brown bag lunch trainings for her local office, as well as CLE trainings for wider audiences, and also cares for her own elderly family members, and recently launched her child to college. Esperanza's colleagues say she has a mind for details, an impeccable sense of ethics, an uncanny ability to organize, a sense of urgency about people's needs, and a compassionate spirit, all of which she employs in the service of our clients. Her work evinces a holistic approach, not treating clients as simply a series of isolated legal issues. Esperanza, would you share a few words?
Thank you. Okay, I didn't know until maybe a couple of hours ago that I was going to be asked to say something. But I did write I wrote something just in case. I didn't want to forget anything, but I will keep this short because people know I like to talk. All my friends know I like to talk. Okay, I want to give a huge thank you to the team of colleagues, past and present, because we have both here, who've supported this nomination. It was a great surprise, and it came at a time when I really needed a boost, so thank you. I've been around the block at Legal Aid and can honestly say that many of the people here today are like family. The Bronx crew, the OGs, will always hold a special place in my heart. And finally, I want to dedicate this award in memory of the Honorable Ruben A. Martino, my first supervisor, and mentor, who gave me a shot at Legal Aid, and I am still here. So thank you, Ruben. Thank you all.
I had the pleasure of attending last week the Latino, I'm thinking last week, I have to figure out what day this is, but of attending the Latino Judges Association dinner, and at that dinner, the Honorable Ruben Martino was posthumously acknowledged. His widow spoke, his two sons were there, daughter was away, I think she's in, was it medical school? I think graduating from medical school. So he's been a wonderful person, and you were fortunate to be with him. We all were. I briefly served with him in the Bronx. All right, our next recipient is Peter Kempner. Peter Kempner is the Legal Director and Senior Law Project Director at Volunteers of Legal Service. Peter is an accomplished legal services attorney who has dedicated his entire legal career over the past 20-plus years to meeting the civil legal services needs of low-income New Yorkers. Prior to joining Volunteers of Legal Service, he worked in Brooklyn Legal Services HIV unit from 2001 until 2011 as a senior staff attorney and government benefits specialist. In May of 2011, he helped found the Veterans Justice Project, an innovative general legal services practice focusing on veterans, active duty military personnel, and their families. In April 2015, Peter became the director of the Veterans Justice Project and deputy director of the housing unit at Brooklyn Legal Services, where he worked until 2018. Peter then joined Volunteers of Legal Service as a senior law project director in 2018 and was promoted to legal director in 2019. As legal director, Pete, as it's listed here, oversees all, if I may, oversees all of Vol's practice areas. He also directly supervises the Vol Senior Law Project and coordinates, is it Vols or VOL? Vols, okay. So he also coordinates Vol's active pro bono program, which partners with more than 70 law firms and corporations. Peter's colleagues say Mr. Kempner has dedicated his career to working with New Yorkers who need assistance, accessing the legal system, and advocating for their rights. I have witnessed his dedication and the high quality of services that he provides to his clients, members of the community, and organizations serving these populations. Peter, or Pete, if I may, I invite you, or Mr. Kempner. Peter, Mr. Kempner, I invite you to share a few words.
Thank you, I too learned about the ability to say some remarks this morning, so, and I didn't even bother to write anything down. I just want to say that it is an honor to be a part of the civil legal services community in New York City. It is just amazing how many dedicated, intelligent advocates there are in this city fighting for low-income New Yorkers, and just honored to be a part of that community. So thank you.
Our next recipient is Susan Shin. Susan Shin is the legal director at the New Economy Project. Susan has shown extraordinary legal services efforts in her quality of work, relationships with clients, creativity, and approach to representing poor New Yorkers, and also her deep and lasting impact. Susan joined the New Economy Project team as a staff attorney in 2008. In 2015, she took on the role as legal director, leading an exceptionally productive legal staff and providing critical legal services to low-income New Yorkers aggrieved by predatory financial practices. She has helped thousands of low-income New Yorkers vindicate their civil rights, challenge widespread due process violations, and fight racial wealth extraction, race-based wealth extraction. Her outstanding legal services efforts have ensured greater financial security for New Yorkers who would otherwise be left without money to pay rent, buy food and medicine, and cover other basic needs. For the past 16 years, she has staffed and supervised the New Economy Project's free NYC Financial Justice Hotline and provided hands-on, effective legal advice and counsel and brief services and full legal representation to the hundreds of low-income New Yorkers who call the legal hotline each year. Susan's legal services provision has yielded staggering results, including massive financial settlements, significant policy change, and other material improvements for her clients and low-income New Yorkers at large. Susan's colleagues say of her, in her 15-year career as a consumer advocate in New York City, Susan has attained an extraordinary record of achievement. She is a brilliant, strategic, collaborative, thoughtful, insightful, fearless, and indefatigable legal services lawyer. Susan, I invite you to share a few words.
Thank you so much. I definitely get tired, but it's so great to be here. Thank you so much to the City Bar Association for this honor. I'll just say it's wonderful to be here today and be honored in such with a wonderful group of colleagues in the legal services world. And I know we all want to put ourselves out of work, but meanwhile, we'll just keep on doing it. So thank you.
See, if only I could get those who are offering oral argument before me to be that short and to the point. Concise, cohesive, wonderful. Our next recipient is Marlene Urena. Marlene, Marlene Urena is a helpline manager at Legal Information for Families Today, or LIFT, working directly with families so that they may successfully address the significant challenges associated with proceeding without counsel in family court. And these clients mostly reside in New York City's economically disadvantaged neighborhoods. About 10% of the people the organization serves are monolingual Spanish-speaking, and a staggering 95% are unrepresented in their family court cases. Marlene joined LIFT 6 years ago as a program associate on the helpline to answer calls, live chats, and emails from individuals navigating challenging and often heart-rending cases of child support, custody, visitation, domestic violence, and guardianship. She was promoted to helpline coordinator due to her commitment to supporting clients and her ability to manage in a fast-paced, high-volume program. Marlene has also taken on a leadership role in LIFT's outreach to immigrant and Spanish-speaking communities throughout New York. She has been instrumental in creating and providing Spanish language legal information on family law topics in communities which lack access to this information. She has been a leader in establishing community-based partnerships, creating culturally sensitive legal information materials, and bringing high-quality Know Your Rights workshops to Spanish-speaking communities across New York City. Marlene's colleagues say of her, Marlene is compassionate and understanding, yet level-headed and direct. She leads by example. She is not someone who seeks validation or recognition. She just believes in the fundamental work of access to justice and the collective effort to bridge the justice gap. Marlene.
I just want to thank the City Bar and LIFT for believing and being creative and always being innovative and always listening to their associates, their attorneys, and everybody, making them feel that they're on the same level. And I just want to keep doing this work, especially for Spanish-speaking communities.
Final recipient is Lauren Wyatt. Lauren Wyatt is a managing attorney of Access to Justice initiatives at Catholic Charities Community Services of New York. She does work that focuses on closing the gap in accessing justice for immigrants facing removal at the New York City Immigrant Court by co-locating services at each court to provide consultations, friend of the court services, pro se assistance for unrepresented respondents, and in-house representation for the particularly vulnerable communities of AWCs and recently arriving Haitian immigrants. Prior to joining Catholic Charities, Lauren was a program associate at the Vera Institute of Justice and an Equal Justice Works Fellow at Catholic Charities Archdiocese of Washington, where she represented unaccompanied immigrant children in their immigration and state court proceedings. Lauren joined Catholic Charities Community Services of New York in 2016 as the first staff attorney to lead programming for the Immigration Court Help Desk at the New York Immigration Court. Immigration Court Help Desk is one of the 5 federally funded programs created to educate non-detained, unrepresented respondents in removal proceedings about court processes and expectations. In addition to her role as lead project attorney for Immigration Court Help Desk, she was promoted to managing attorney of Legal Access to Justice initiatives. As managing attorney, she helps oversee approximately 40 attorney caseloads, and also helps to oversee other programs such as the Family Group Legal Orientation Program, Adults with Children Representation, and the Haitian Response Initiative. Lauren's colleagues say of her, Lauren's service is diverse, innovative, and life-saving for New York's most vulnerable immigrant communities. Lauren?
Well, thank you very much to the Bar Association for, giving me this award. And congratulations to my fellow awardees. I know they're all incredible. I've been really impressed by hearing everything about them. I feel very honored to have been invited today, and I think ultimately the goal with programs like all of ours is that we want to put ourselves out of work. The biggest problem that I see in the immigration system is that people don't have an attorney provided to them, and ultimately what the government needs to do is to provide attorneys to people so that they don't have to be navigating this really complicated, complex, confusing system by themselves and having to worry about life or death issues without understanding what's happening in the deportation system. So I hope that one day jobs like mine will not be necessary anymore, but in the meantime, thank you for the award.
All right, thank you everyone for being with us today. I'm now going to invite Jamie Porco, co-chair of the Legal Services Award Subcommittee, to conclude our program.
Thank you so much. On behalf of my co-chair, Marnie Burke, and the fellow members of our Pro Bono and Legal Services Committee, I want to once again congratulate the honorees tonight. What a wonderful and inspirational group of people, and I just want to say keep fighting the good fight. So, and I also would like to thank Judge Reed for coming tonight to speak. That was a real pleasure, so thank you. And thank you to the City Bar staff, Martha and Taylor, for putting this lovely event together. And with that, I would like to invite you to enjoy the reception. Thank you for coming.